we've seen this recently about quarterbacks saying that, I only want to play for this team, or even father figures like Deion Sanders say that I want my kids to play for this one team. And also Travis Hunter, too, because according to the New York Post, Deion Sanders has given Shedeur and Shio, as well as Travis Hunter, their list of 6 acceptable teams, which include the Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys, Commanders, Ravens, or the Atlanta Falcons. You have 6 teams that you can go to.
Interestingly, all teams that Deion played for except for the Eagles.
Plus the Eagles, exactly. So I want to know, how realistic do you think Deion's plan is for his sons, as well as Travis Hunter?
Only if the teams that he wants them to go to trade up, because most of those teams, and maybe Atlanta is the exception, are going to be winning enough so that they're not going to be in the top 4.
Right.
If you think Shiloh is going in the top 4, I don't. Personally.
It also depends on what
it depends on what they do next year in college, right? They got another year to play, so we'll see how Shedeur does next year. I mean, he started out like a house of fire last year. Then he got the offensive line was horrible there for a while, and he was getting sacked right and left, and he couldn't do much. So I think he is a talent, but is he a top 4 pick in the draft next year? Hunter is Hunter a top? Hunter was hurt quite a bit during the year. He didn't play quite a few games there, and when he came back, I don't think he was quite as good as he was before he got hurt. So I don't know. I think it's a lot of publicity more than anything else with Deion talking.
Well, the ranking, I've listed the rankings here. So according to, and you could take this, with a grain of salt, maybe Walter Football, which I think is a pretty reputable source. They have a bunch of things going on. They did their projected round 1 of the 2025 NFL draft, and this was last updated Saturday, March 23rd. So it's not too long ago. Nothing really has changed per se in the realm of, this college player played well or not. So, I mean, I think this is an okay list to use. He has the Tennessee Titans with the first overall pick selecting Shedeur Sanders. My guess is you're going to go with Will Levis. He's going to be horrible, and it's really going to be, insane to say 2 years you're done. But if you have an opportunity to get Shedeur, he goes at number 2. Then here's what's interesting. Walter Football has the Patriots at number 3 selecting Travis Hunter.
Next year?
Next year. Shiloh Sanders is not within the top 32 picks for the first round. And then you have draftcountdown.com, which gives you the big board. Shiloh is not listed within the first 140 prospects. Shedeur Sanders, I believe, I have it in front of me, he is 77th.
77th, huh?
Travis Hunter is number 6.
Wow.
And this is the big kicker, right? Let's go down the teams who are going to be available, let's say within the top 10. Because I think Shedeur will be a top 10 pick, and I think Travis Hunter would also be a top 10 pick. Let's go. 49ers, will they be in the top 10?
No.
Probably not. Philadelphia Eagles?
No.
Probably not. Dallas Cowboys?
No.
Probably not. Baltimore Ravens?
No.
Probably not. Atlanta Falcons with Kirk Cousins?
Probably not.
Probably not. And in this one, maybe, but they're just about to draft a quarterback, the Commanders. I think with Shiloh, that's a possibility because according to this big board, he's not within the top 140, and he's probably not going to be a first-round pick unless he has this monster year in 2024, 2025. The Commanders might be your first option to be in a top 10, but they're about to draft a quarterback. Could they go with Shiloh, who's a safety, as well as Travis Hunter, cornerback? You could go for Travis Hunter if you have a top 10 pick, but he might go within the top 3 to a team you don't want. Because there are a number of teams that could seriously be poor that I think, honestly, we're not expecting. Because I think really, Pittsburgh, I think, is going to be poor. I don't think they're going to be very good. I think Denver right now, depending on what they do in the draft, could be poor. If they stick with Jarrett Stidham, they're going to be high up on that, believe me. Yeah. But then again, it's not on the list. It's not on the list. The Raiders, will they draft a quarterback? I don't know. But if they go with Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew, they'll be there. Are they on the list? No. So if you're trying to fill out this list, it's not going to work for you. I
mean, what is a team thinking about when they see something like that from Deion Sanders? I mean, the number, if Shedeur Sanders has a fantastic year, and he could be in the top 4 picks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, or Travis Hunter, both, and a lot of people thinking he's already up there in the top 6 or so.
Right.
If they have fantastic years, and none of those teams are in the top 4, Does that mean they get drafted by one of them, that they're going to refuse to go play there? Are they going to pull an Eli Manning and say, I want to be traded? That's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous.
Well, this is about the NIL, and this is what gives college players now a lot of power, because you could stay within college, make more money than you would if you're a relatively low first round pick. You make more money in NIL deals. So now you're kind of manipulating the draft to potentially be in your favor, instead of accepting where you might be able to end up, facing whatever adversity comes your way, and maybe becoming a better player because of it. So this is kind of the situation that we find ourselves in, especially with Deion Sanders. Massive personality. I think he's a great coach. I think he's a great mentor to his players. He cuts the middleman out. You talk directly to him, he'll give it to you straight. I think Deion Sanders is a phenomenal coach. He was great at Jackson State, and now I think he's doing a pretty good job at Colorado. Mm-hmm. I think he had a very peculiar method last season of only using the transfer portal for his prospects. I think this season, Colorado, will be a little bit better, especially the fact that you're retaining Shedeur. Shiloh's not bad.
Need to do something about the offensive line.
The offensive line needs a lot of work, and he even said that he needs to get a brand new offensive line. That's what I said. He gives it to you straight. I respect that. It's rough, but I respect it. Yeah. He doesn't leave you lingering like some of these other coaches.
I like Deion Sanders, too.
Absolutely.
He's a colorful guy. He's outspoken. He was a fantastic player in
Best
the NFL.
Best cornerback in NFL history, in my opinion.
And he was a great punt returner. He could play on offense, too. He's an amazing player.
Could play baseball.
Yeah,
I believe he played in the
for
World
Atlanta.
Series.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's not going to work out. And I think, because Caleb Williams, we heard a little bit about Caleb Williams potentially denying Chicago the opportunity to draft him, or at least him playing for Chicago.
Yeah, he backtracked.
And then Caleb Williams, rightfully so, said, no, I just want to play for an organization that really cares, and Chicago really cares. Smart move. Will Shedeur Sanders, and by the way, I think this was a Deion move to not have Shedeur be in this draft, to not have Shio in this draft. I'm pretty sure that was a Deion Sanders move, saying, yeah, you're going to play another year. And I mean, with the way it looks, not bad. And also, he said recently that he wants his kids to play in warm weather to maximize their potential. Well, San Francisco, yeah. Philly, no.
Right.
And that's
That's an outdoor stadium.
Right.
Baltimore, no.
Baltimore, not really.
Washington,
not really.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have
maybe
Dallas,
he's counting on global warming. Yeah. Maybe he's counting on global warming.
I don't think it's gonna turn the United States into a desert in 1 year. Maybe, who the hell knows? But this is not a great move. I don't love the fact that that he's coming out and saying this, because we have to see how he plays. We have to see how all of them play. Now, Travis Hunter has an incredible amount of talent. He's right now doing a dual position. Wide receiver as well as cornerback. Yeah. It's insane.
It'll be interesting to see where he's drafted, whether he's drafted as a cornerback or drafted as
how he plays
receiver.
This season too. If he takes a step back at either position and sort of makes his mark on whether he wants to be a cornerback primarily or a wide receiver. Or he might pull a Deion and say, I could do both. Put me wherever you want. He'll be a utility player, kind of like Shohei in baseball. Shedeur Sanders, he is incredible talent. Like, I agree with you. Get a better offensive line. Yeah. And then Shio Sanders, according to this big board, not within the top 140. He might have an opportunity to go to one of these 6 teams. Maybe. He's probably the highest possibility to go to one of these 6 teams, just because, according to this, he's not even.
Deion said that he didn't say that Shio was in top 1 through 4, right? He only said it was Hunter and.
No, he said Shedeur, Shio, Travis. These are the 6 teams. He wants all of them.
I understand the 6 teams, but in terms of the draft order.
He doesn't know what the draft order is.
No, he said they both would go in the first 1 through 4, right? That's what.
What, Travis and Shedeur?
Yeah.
Well,
he said that 1 through 4. So he left Shio out. So
exactly.
What? I mean, come on. What are you doing to your son, man? You're playing with his head. Don't do that.
He's being honest. He's saying, hey,
don't do that. That's your son.
I mean, it's a top 4 pick. You gotta be real with the kid.
He's not going to be a top 4 pick. Everyone knows it. He's ranked 140th.
Not even. He's not even in the 140th. I mean, Shedeur is I think Shedeur being 77th on this big board, this was a January 22 big board, so I don't know if it, if another site has it updated, but to have Shedeur at 77, it's a bit rough. And then Walter Football, about, a couple weeks ago, has him being selected first overall over someone like Carson Beck, who goes number 2 to the Giants, actually. So it's going to be interesting. Quinn Ewers also, he gets drafted over Quinn Ewers, which goes... he goes number 8 to the Broncos. So we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be interesting to see how they perform, how Colorado performs, what Deion does for recruiting purposes for the 2024 college season. So I'll be excited to look, but right now, Deion Sanders has 6 teams that he wants his kids, and he's speaking for Travis Hunter too. Fair enough. We'll see what happens for this college season. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.